Hello and welcome to the unofficial Bulls is Your Senior Hockey League podcast. I'm your host, Corey, joined by my co-host, Corey.
Co-host Corey.
We've got a special guest here for the beginning of this episode. My girlfriend, Tracy.
Hello, everyone.
Tracy, I hope you're not too far from the mic. Yeah, Tracy.
There. Hi.
So Tracy is going to have a little segment on the channel here coming up called Tracy's Zamboni Reviews.
That's right. If you think about it, the Zamboni drivers are the unsung heroes of any hockey game. Bad ice, bad game. Good ice, could go either way.
Ah, there you go. I like that. Tracy's been going to games. Corey, we've been having to tolerate listening to her for the last year. She'll be going to games and she'll be commenting, oh, look at that, he didn't miss a spot. Or she'll be like, Pabon, guy missed a spot. So we figure we might as well start recording some of this and, give it its own proper channel. So, Tracy, what do you have to say to Zamboni drivers around the league?
You're on notice.
Hear that, folks? The Zamboni drivers are on notice.
But I also love you, so don't be too afraid.
Okay. Is it going to be honest, hardcore reviews?
Well, it's going to be in the spirit of the podcast itself.
I don't know what the hell that means.
I'll let you figure it out.
All right. Corey will explain it to me. Corey will explain it to me. All right. Well, thanks, Tracy. You can look forward to that coming up the next couple of weeks. We might get Tracy to do the Zamboni review from Amherst. I think we have one recorded, so it might make that make that come to light at some point here. But Tracy's Zamboni review coming soon.
Sounds good.
Corey, we have a lot of announcements this week, but first, how was your week? Talk to me about your week.
Well, doing pretty good. Still getting over that cold. Had a day off today. We're Wednesday, so off, but doing good, being busy. Can't wait for the work season to be over, and I can't wait for next week because we are at the doorstep. We're about to be knocking on that second season for us, and I really can't wait. It's been too long.
Opening night 1 week from tomorrow. Man, crazy. Can't wait. We know that, as quick as it's going to start, it's also going to fly by and finish. So
let's start with the first game that we're going to be at, and we'll go from there. Once it's over, I'm back at work, and this work season was financially great, mentally was exhausting.
Yeah, I'm sure. I know Mark McGraw and some other people work in some shops that listen to us, and it's not easy for sure. You guys had a long season this year. When we were coming home today, Tracy and we saw 2 trucks hauling lobster traps back from the wharf. That's always a good sign.
Yeah, I love that. I just gave me joy right there. We could finish work on Thursday, and I'd be happy. I don't think we're finishing work on Thursday. Saturday at the least. I don't want to be there next week.
It's been a really good season. You really can't forget how dangerous this job truly is. So these fishermen risk their lives every week, every day. It's not an easy job. So, glad that the season's almost over and everybody can get some rest.
Absolutely.
I had a good week, busy enough week. Over the weekend, I was just getting over a flu, so I didn't spend a ton of time at rinks, but I did get to the LC exhibition game on Saturday with Cheryl. Thank God for Cheryl. She took lots of pictures, which is always appreciated. So it was the Junior Seahawks against the Hawks. It's early preseason. It's just nice to get back to the rink. Nice to see guys skating. Nice to see the players again. Mac was playing mostly with Alex Arsenault, as you can imagine how that went. They look great. The highlight for me was Danik Kret trying to do a between the legs and scoring with it. I was like, oh, man.
Oh, wow.
They were just having fun. Yeah, it was great. The junior Seahawks are
So
looking good.
did he score?
He scored. He scored on it between the legs. Yeah, it was disgusting.
The Magic Man, Cratezilla.
Great. So you can see some pictures of it on our page. You can see when he's got the stick between the legs, getting ready to take the shot, and then the next picture is the puck in the net. So, he's having fun though, and I think all the guys are having fun. Junior Seahawks look great. They were skating hard. My God, those guys are in shape right now. So,
I did not catch one junior Seahawks game last year. I'd like to not make that mistake again.
Yeah, I'd love to.
I haven't even been to the LC Arena.
It's a beautiful rink. I love it. I'd like to get and see an LC's Junior C Elspucktuck Hawks. Elspucktuck Junior Seahawks. I don't know how to best say it. It just, I don't know. So the Junior Hawks, right. Good. I do love watching some junior hockey. So hopefully in the next few weeks, maybe we'll get out to the rink in LC and check out the Junior Seahawks one of these nights.
Yep, sounds good.
The next day, Tracy and I went again for a short period to the Miramichi practice. I think we were there for about, half hour or so, 40 minutes. Got warmly welcomed by Doug White and talked to Sophie and, went up there, checked out the practice. They looked like they were flying. I'm going to be honest with you. Milson looked like he was just in phenomenal shape. I will say that the Northmen look like they're in great shape right now.
I think the Northmen have something to prove this year. I think it's a year that, don't sleep on the Northmen. They got something to prove, and I think they're going to surprise some people.
I completely agree. I think most of their team was there. I think they said they were missing 3 guys. And everybody that I saw, the stuff that Menzies was setting up for them, breakout stuff and just basic hockey practice stuff, but the passes were crisp. Yeah. They were skating phenomenal. One thing that I love to do is watch John Hardy skate. That guy has like the best edges, the way that he can transition from forward to backwards, the speed that he has. One of the best skaters in the league, in my opinion. And
I agree with that.
He looks, as always, like he's in phenomenal shape right now. And I think he's gonna make for a pretty interesting Miramichi Northmen team this year.
I agree with you on one thing. I think Miramichi will have top 3 at least. Their defensive core, I think their defense is going to be just unbelievable this year.
Man, some unfortunate news that came out of some league meetings last weekend with Benji Curtis apparently not going to be a Northman because he has too many games played in the queue, so he can't be a junior A. So
that just annoys me. Annoys me because we aren't getting Benji Curtis in the BSHL, and that's
or Brady Patterson.
Because Brady Patterson.
Anybody that doesn't know,
that's a loss for the entire fan base.
100%.
Not just
for the entire league. For the entire
league.
Yeah. So Benji is Brady Patterson's brother-in-law. So they are kind of together. So Brady Patterson won't be a Northman, and neither will Benji Curtis, which is very upsetting.
Very.
I understand the rule. It needs to be there. I think he has like 1 or 2 games too many to be a junior A or less. So I understand the rules, and they need to enforce it. But it absolutely sucks as a BSHL fan to think that we're losing a couple of really good players to the Southern League because of just some unfortunate rules. So, but that is what it is. The good news is that the Northmen look fantastic.
Yeah,
there was supposed to be some exhibition games this weekend. They were canceled. Ricky actually kind of joked with me when it was announced. I was like, "Oh man, right on! I'm going to go to Doketown for that game." And Ricky's a very good friend now. And I was like, if you want to come to Doketown, more than welcome. There's always room with Corey and I or whoever's going to the game. And Ricky's like, yeah, we'll see if it actually happens. Sure enough, on Monday, who shares the post with me? Ricky. And he's like he's like Miss Cleo. This guy's like a psychic. He's like, I told you, never happens. Exhibition games. And I don't know why. He's right, though. I don't know why exhibition games always get canceled in senior hockey, but they just do.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It would have been against the
Tri-City,
Express.
Tri-County Express. Yeah.
Um, you know, we didn't follow a lot of the Southern League last year. I followed a little bit, never went to a game. There was a few free games on YouTube. It's one of those things that I'd like to go see this year again, or for the first time, I should say.
Yeah, so Tri-County is going to have a ton of Doketown guys, ton of Lumberjacks.
Yeah, that's
So
the main reason I'd like to go see them.
I think the Sturgeon play in Minto on Saturday nights. So really the only team in the Beausejour League who plays on Saturdays is Dalhousie.
Mhm.
We love Dalhousie, but it's a hell of a trek, so we won't be there every Saturday.
Yeah.
So there will be some Saturdays where we're free, and two dipshits like me and you on a night off will of course go to a different rink for a different league to cover it. But yeah, I'm not going to announce anything until they've announced more of their players. But yeah, Tri-County, man, looking like they're going to have a lot of Lumberjacks. So if you're from the Doketown region, you want to check out some good hockey. If you can't make it to Miramichi on Friday night, maybe make it to Fredericton Junction on Saturday night. And I'm not sure what night they actually play. Shit. Well, if you can't make the Miramichi, go to Fredericton Junction, check out the Tri-County Express. But lots of good senior hockey. Primarily, though, support the Beausejour Senior Hockey League. Yay, you like that?
There you go.
Some announcements this week, Corey. Some big ones. We'll start with the Marauders. Riley Scott, last year in Alpine, this year a Marauder. Riley that played in the past in Miramichi Junior A, and then Trackety. He's a team guy, scores some goals. He's a little gritty. I'm a fan of his play style. He lives in Bathurst, and he's the last Junior A import for the Dalhousie Marauders.
I think this is just a plus for the Marauders. I don't know. I think is it next week that we're deciding who we think is going to win?
Oh yeah. Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. Oh, and we're going back to 2?
Yeah, buddy. Next week we're going back to 2 episodes a week. Tuesday will be our season preview with predictions. I think we're going to get the girls in on it. They're going to make their predictions for the season. I think I even want to get my mom in to make her predictions for the season. Everybody. I'm not going to get my dad in because my dad's going to be like, oh, Alex Arsenault and the Elspeth Hawks. Pretty much my dad's a Hawks fan. What can I tell you? So, yeah, I think we're going to get everybody in, get their predictions, play all of that, and see if anybody is a savant or really if anybody's an idiot savant, because if I get it, I'm just lucky guessing it. But give everybody a few days here to think about it. I'm going to record those over the weekend, including yours over the weekend, Corey, and mine. And then we will play all of our predictions next Tuesday for a special first Tuesday episode of season 2. And then next Thursday, we'll be back for a week 1 preview.
You know, what's funny is I talk with a lot of people that listen to the podcast, and something that they miss, and we didn't do this for the playoffs, but weekly predictions. And they're asking if we could start doing that again.
Who's asking? Just you? Is it you?
No, it's not just me.
It's not you? I don't know. I'm good. I'm fine. I think we can do weekly predictions. Last year, I was the kiss of death. If I predicted you were winning, you were probably fucked unless you were a Marauder.
Yeah. Yeah, I won that one.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I think we should do it again this year. It was fun. We did keep track of it. My problem is that I'm very sensitive. I'm soft. I know I'm a big dude, but I'm soft-hearted, and Corey was pretty much bullying me. So we will be doing our predictions again starting next Thursday, and then we'll review on Monday the weekend and see how bad our predictions were.
So, but I know this is an audio only, but since I was the champion, I might as well just.
He's putting on, ladies and gentlemen, he's putting on his belt. He's putting on his championship belt right now. Gosh,
you can hear the clanging of the metal.
Why the fuck are you taking your pants off? You don't have to take your pants off to put your belt on.
Do you want to see my underwear?
No, I'm good.
Or My Little Pony or whatever it's called.
All right, he didn't take his pants off. I was just fucking around, folks. There were some other announcements last week. I can't remember them though. Was there anybody else? Were there any other players announced last week?
Jeez, I'm blanking.
I'm blanking completely.
I feel like there might have been one more.
One more? I think there was something in Bucktouche, wasn't there?
Was there? Maybe.
So Bucktouche makes a big splash last week. That was Corey. That was so lame. I enjoyed it though. Bucktouche made a huge splash last week. So They announced 2 signings. We heard rumors about the first signing weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere. I heard it at the JK, heard it online.
Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons.
Every time I'd step my feet in Tim Hortons, is this guy really signing? I'm like, don't know.
We're not on the JCs. We have no idea. We don't get inside info necessarily. So Patrice Cormier signs with the Bucktouche JCs.
Huge.
Yeah, unbelievable signing. This guy is a Atlanta Thrasher draft pick, played for the Thrashers, played for the Jets, played in the AHL. Last year, a couple years ago, went to Europe. Last year was in Germany playing the DEL, won the championship in the DEL, retires after that, is now an assistant coach at Université de Moncton, and now he's a Bucktouche JC.
He got the itch again.
Yeah, I mean, is he going to be the best player in the league?
If he's not, he's top 2 or 3 for sure. He's still in the prime of his life, you know. He's in the prime of his career.
Yeah, he's got a lot left. I think if I'm a JC's fan, I'm over the moon with this. Absolutely. Just this alone would have been enough for me as a JC's fan to make me ecstatic. Mm-hmm. But then at some point last week, we started to hear rumblings. Got a couple of messages, and one from Dalhousie, which was ridiculous. A fan from Dalhousie shoots me a message and is like, the fan will rain on this. Fan from Dalhousie shoots me a message. He's like, I heard about PA Paramoto becoming a JC. And I was like, heard it from another person from the Bucktouche area. And I'm just like, all right. So I messaged Corey and I'm like, hearing these rumors. Have you heard anything? He hadn't heard anything. And then you started to hear them too. Yep. Guess where? Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons. In the drive-thru. There you go. Corey talks to himself a lot in the drive-thru, folks. So Pierre-Alexandre Paramoto. You like that one, Corey? I do. Pierre-Alexandre Paramoto is a JC now. Another huge one. Just massive. So, you know, Paramoto. This makes up for last year, in my opinion. I think this is basically them telling their fans, last year was a one-off. Here we go. Yeah, this is serious. Mm-hmm. So he was drafted by the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. At that point, it wasn't the Anaheim Ducks. He's a former Moncton Wildcat who relocated back to Moncton after his playing career was done. He played for the Cincinnati Mighty Ducks in the AHL, then went on to some other AHL teams before breaking into the NHL with the Chicago Blackhawks. And then he ended up having just a great NHL career. Played with the Rangers, the Islanders, the Avalanche, Canadiens, the Maple Leafs, the Devils. He finished off his career in the NHL with the Predators before heading to the KHL. And now he's a Bucktouche JC. His stats are pretty damn impressive. He has, let me pull this up here really quick, because apparently it's just not allowing me to pull it up easily, because why would it? He has, Corey, you can keep talking. Distract people while I pull this together. He has, I got it now. There you go. 491 games played in the NHL, 114 goals, 182 assists, 296 points. Which is pretty good. Absolutely. It's very impressive. How many points did you say you had? 296? 296 points. That is a fun fact
He has 296 points, more than me and Corey combined.
Absolutely. He also has 450 games played in the AHL. So this is, almost 1,000 point. This is over 1,000 game pro if you add everything up. Yeah, he was also. They both played in the World Juniors. Both Cormier and Parenteau played in the World Juniors. I don't know, man. It's when you say they made a splash, they cannonballed into the water, man. It's the biggest splash you'll ever see.
Yeah, I think it's a good 1-2 punch, and the fans better show up. That is my one thing. You're getting NHL players. Okay? Get to the JK, support the JCs. Enough with last year. All right, it was a one-off. They are going to be fantastic this year. I want to see everybody there.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think the attendance was definitely down last year. We saw that game in, game out. We were at a lot of JC's games because they're so close to us. Why wouldn't we be?
I think the JK is my favorite arena, like to go to. It's close. The people there are nice. The food's great. The action on the ice is fantastic, especially when you go for a Hawks game at the JK.
Oh yeah,
the atmosphere changes. You can smell the rivalry. You can feel it. You can feel it in the stands. It's the best.
What's fun is to stand behind the net, either up top or down below, and you can hear the JC's fans on your right, and you can hear the Hawks fans on your left in the division. It's
unbelievable.
It's a special thing for sure. When Dalhousie rolls in, it's pretty impressive too. Not as many fans make the trip from Dalhousie, but I'll tell you that the fans that do are fucking amazing. They're loud, they're fun. Super nice people. But yeah, if you haven't been to the JK, get there sometime, check out some hockey, support the BSHL. Above all, support your local team.
Hell yeah.
We're only a week and a day away from opening night. Amazing.
I'm almost emotional because I've been looking forward to this so much. There was so much work to be done. There was so much work to put into this podcast. 90% done by Corey Robichaud, by the way. Props to you, brother. You're a warrior.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. It's definitely a lot of work. It's worth it, though, especially when we get this close to the season. And yeah, can't wait to get it started. We've been traveling a little bit, doing some preseason stuff, getting pretty pumped for this. The followers on the page are definitely back up again. Through the summer, obviously, it dips a bit. People aren't as interested. Now it is back up to where it was last year. So thank you all for hanging with us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching on YouTube. We certainly do appreciate it. Tracy's Zamboni review coming in the next few weeks. Next Tuesday, you'll be hearing previews for predictions for who we think is going to be the champion next year. Not only my prediction, not only Corey's prediction. We're going to get Tracy's prediction. We're going to get Cheryl's prediction. We might get Mama Podcast's prediction. Might see if I can't bring on a couple guests and get their damn prediction. Screw it. Get everybody's prediction. I think Parker Deighan is predicting that the Ducks are going to win. He didn't say it, but that's probably what he's saying. He's our guest tonight, Corey. Parker's a great guy. He's a lot of fun to talk to. He's a big supporter of the podcast, which we appreciate. What did you think about this interview? You were a little tired again. You were a little quiet.
Work gets to me. I don't want to miss it. Here's the thing. The interview parts, I can chime in here and there. The interview's about the guest. Corey's magic on the mic when it comes to asking questions. So I let him carry most of the interview because Corey's he's the leader of the group here. There's no sugarcoating it. Corey's the man. I can chime in. I like to be there for support and all that. Parker was so easy. He's like a Trey Lewis or a Charles Austin, just an easy guy, just up for anything. I really appreciate him giving us that time.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy, great supporter. I really want to thank everybody that came on this podcast during this off season and during this preseason. I'm thinking about, the Roxanne Merrill Youngs and the Scott Parents, the Alex Arsenaults and the Thomas Hollahans who came in over the course of the spring into the summer. And then everybody that's been on this preseason, we certainly do appreciate you all for coming on. We've had a lot of the teams on. At this point, we've had every team on the podcast multiple times, and it means a lot to us. And it definitely it's hard not to support these teams when they're so cool with us. So
Exactly.
Parker's interviews coming up next. Hope you all enjoy it. Tracy's Zamboni reviews coming up. Cheryl's going to be on the podcast next Tuesday. You never want to miss that when Cheryl's on the podcast. We're going to have some interviews next week as well. We're already working on those, lining them up. So we will be back next Tuesday for our predictions. Next Thursday, we will be back for our week 1 preview. Corey, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It feels good to be back in the season mode.
The hard work was worth it.
Absolutely.
We're there.
We are there. All right. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy this interview with Parker Deighan, and we will see you on Tuesday.
Take care.
All right. Corey from the podcast. I'm here joined by Corey.
As always.
And we have a special guest tonight, Parker Deighan.
Hello, guys. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. How you doing?
Good.
Oh, just winding down the end of Monday night, holiday. But no, everything's all good. We had practice last night. But half the guys were able to make it out. Long weekend's a little hard with people usually have plans and stuff. But yeah, it was good. Things have been busy.
You gotta like that. I see you're wearing some camo duck logo stuff on the head there. I like that.
Yeah, we got some Real Tree camo Ducks hats that all the boys will be wearing and probably sell some at the game. It just kind of fits into our duck theme and at the marsh and in the area. So they're pretty awesome hats. I love them. I'm wearing it every day.
Awesome. So we were out last week, a couple weeks ago, to the stadium, the Marsh. I hadn't been there in a long time, and I don't think I'd ever been there for hockey. That venue's sick, man. That's a pretty wicked venue.
Yeah, it's pretty special building, really. Like I played junior there whenever I was in Summerside, and it was always my favorite rink to play in, just because they had obviously had a really good teams back then. They had Andrew Sweetland. I don't know if you remember that name, and a bunch of other good guys. Chipman, but Sweetland was kind of the main. So they always had really good crowds, and it was like they don't really like when you call it the Jungle anymore, but it used to be called the Jungle. And
the Marsh.
That was the Marsh for now. The Marsh for now. It's like kind of somebody said that on Facebook, and it kind of just stuck. But I like it.
I like it. It works. People on Facebook seem to be pretty excited about this. What are you hearing? What's the rumble around town?
Oh, I guess I don't know if I'm in my own little bubble, but everybody that I seem to talk to seems to be excited, and obviously minus the couple weeks after we made the announcement, some people upset about us leaving, which I can totally understand. Obviously it wasn't a easy decision, but everybody in Amherst seems to be excited that I've been talking to, and there's lots of kind of just more so anticipation of the unknown in many ways, just because we haven't played a game yet, and there's a lot of new players and new coaches, and it's basically a brand new team in many ways, minus some of the staple players that you'll see from the coal miners last year. But we're super excited. I love skating there. Like I said, we had practice last night, and I drove all the way from Halifax, so it was worth it. I enjoy the rink, and it just has like this atmosphere about it that I think other teams and visiting fans and people will just kind of like. It's got a vibe.
Yeah, we've got a lot of followers in Dalhousie, and a couple of them messaged me a few days ago to talk about their trip to Amherst and how excited they are, because now we're a little over a week away, and they're visiting fans and they're excited to be getting to the stadium. So it's pretty awesome, man. Talk to me about those signings that you talked about. You guys have made a splash, no pun intended, a little bit of pun intended, this summer with some of these signings. Talk to me about them a little bit.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. I guess like with the new direction of the team, I think for me, I thought we kind of needed to go a little bit younger. It seemed like Dalhousie and some Miramichi and some of the other teams that the real strength was being able to have three lines that could skate. and then could kind of play against anybody at any time. And it's having that depth. It's like you don't need to have everything all in one person, but being able to spread it out amongst the lineup with a little bit more fresh legs mixed with some kind of senior citizens like myself. I need a young guy on my wing that can drag the puck for me a little bit, and I'll make sure I can get it to him. But
this is a guy who puts in 30 minutes a night on the ice. Go away.
Well, that's what I mean. I can't. It gets exhausting. We don't have as many back-to-backs this year, thank God. Yeah. Just the back-to-backs for me is just that second night, especially if you're on the road. It's like I feel like you got hit by a truck, and then you're getting up and got to go do it again. But yeah, I'd say just kind of getting some youth in there and kind of starting to build a new culture around the team and in the community. And it just kind of all goes hand in hand with that. Being able to bring in, the main thing we wanted to make sure was that they were all good guys and they were going to fit in big time with the community and then also the other players that we had. But I think we've achieved that. Like we had the training camp and then we had all the boys over to the Elm Tree, which will be our bar this year that we'll go to after every single home game. We'll have senior night. We have the back room set up with our colors and jerseys and all that stuff. And the owner there has been awesome. Yeah, everybody was having a great time getting to know each other. A couple beers, it always kind of helps loosen everybody up a little bit. But
looked like everybody was having fun on the ice too. Talk to me about some of those imports. You guys have Thomas Casey coming on.
Yeah, we get Thomas and yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say Thomas, obviously up front, comes from Charlottetown. He went to Notre Dame like myself, and then he came back and played 4 years for the Charlottetown Islanders. He was assistant captain there, had 2 really incredible seasons his last 2 years, and then he went over to UNB and had a good stint there, and then he was already kind of moved his way through university, so he was heading for his master's at SMU. So he did that last year and put up good numbers there. And I went out to watch a couple games, and I was really impressed with him. And I thought he looks a lot bigger on the ice than he is too. Whenever you see him, and he's really quick on the face-offs. Like he just snaps them back and. Anyway, yeah, I think he'll bring a great kind of two-way centerman kind of player for us that can penalty kill, power play, regular shifts, and that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted somebody that could do everything all over the ice, and I think that he's not going to go maybe end to end every shift, but you're not going to get the puck from him. He's going to make a great first pass. He's going to be good in the corners. So that's kind of, I guess, what I'd say about Thomas Casey. He plays with a little grit. So, no, he's good.
Yeah. You guys also signed Matt Welsh, is it? Your import goaltender?
Yeah, Matt Welsh. Yeah. Yeah, he comes with a lot of notoriety for sure. He's very well known in Halifax and Charlottetown, especially. He was a fan favorite there. Like, yep. I know whenever he was coming on his last couple of years, there was teams trying to get him, and just because he was so well known in town and everything like that, they wouldn't get rid of him. And that's one thing that kind of, we were talking about a couple different goalies, and that's one thing that I really liked about Matt was that he's such a good guy, and everybody gets along with him, and he's good in the community, and he's willing to do the extra stuff to help the team. And he's also a gamer. He comes from a long kind of lineage of Welsh boys being really good at hockey, and he's no different really. So
I love it, man. So the key thing that I'm hearing is youth, and you guys are extremely talented, and you're fast, really fast team on the ice. You guys signed a few Ramblers, so there's some more Amherst guys in there, and a ton of returning guys from Spring Hill.
Yeah, we got a lot of returning guys, and then I guess you're talking about the speed. What makes me think is the Landcleve brothers. Like I can never say their last name right. I don't know. It's Landsleeve or Landcleve, but they are just. I was shocked. I skated with them a couple times over the summer, and then they were out like on training camp, and like they were blown by. Like they were just the speed and quickness, and they both obviously played high level, and they're very dialed in. They're ready to go. They're very excited to play too. So that's nice to see. But then we got Matt Hunter coming from the Ramblers last year. He was one of their top defensemen. He lugged a lot of minutes, good two-way, first pass, penalty kill, big body. He's really actually impressed me a lot. He's a lot better than I thought he was, or like thought he was going to be. I only seen him play a couple times, but he's very smooth, and his crossovers are. That was one thing I noticed last night. He was crawling the line. I was like, Jesus, okay, you got a little offense in you too.
He was partnering up with you a lot on that in that training camp.
Yeah,
and he looked phenomenal. Yeah, he looked stellar.
Oh,
Actually, messaged Corey and said that. I was like, holy shit, this Hunter kid is.
I know it's like he's just smooth, and he's still growing. Like they're always like coming out of junior, you're still young. Like I think from 20 to 25, like how much I grew just learning the game and then also strength. So like he's only going to get better. And then Jaden Matheson's back. He's another year older. He's brings a lot of great young talent and speed, and he's probably put on 10, 15 pounds from last year. So he's a little bit bigger, and I think he might have grew a little bit too. So those two I'm really excited about. I think they'll kind of be staples for the Amherst Ducks, hopefully for a long time, Jaden and Hunter. And then obviously we got Matt Stone coming back from last year. He looks like a machine out there. He was in the gym all summer as well, by the looks of it. So I think the commitment that I've noticed from a lot of the returning guys, that they're very committed and they really want to be here and win. And I think combined with our high-end signings, and I didn't even mention Reed Voss. He's obviously coming over, and then Jesse Colburn's back as well. So it's looking pretty good. It's obviously everybody's got to stay healthy and all that kind of good stuff. But I think we'll definitely be able to ice a competitive hockey team this year, right from the get-go.
A lot of people are mentioning you guys as contenders this year for sure. Everybody I talked to, you guys have a new coaching staff too. You've brought in veteran guys from the league, honestly. Sean McManaman, who's been playing for the minors the last few years, Phil Farrow, who has a great history in the Beausejour Northeast Senior Hockey League, playing for everybody, including Els Buckduck, but now going over and coaching you guys. And then obviously Scott Farrell, who's been a head coach in this league for years. So you guys bring in a really phenomenal coaching staff like that, and then back it up with more leadership with James Sanford. It's kind of impressive. I'm not going to lie to you. This is not the same team that we saw last year.
Yeah, I think, well, he just said everybody's pretty much brand new. When you say it like that, it's definitely, I haven't really thought about it completely in that context. I think what I look at, like especially in senior hockey, with like my experience playing in Newfoundland and playing at the highest level of senior hockey, the Allen Cups and stuff like that, it's being able to have good coaches that can have game management, because you don't practice as much, and you don't, I think, yes, you need to have a system and everybody needs to be on the same page. It doesn't need to be anything crazy, but it's being able to have coaches that have experience coaching men, and then also being able to have good game management, good line matching, knowing when to maybe press, maybe hold off, like being able to kind of understand the flows of the game, because I think that's really important in this level. I think it's like you go into certain rinks, it's like I'm trying to think of, like, if you go into Dalhousie, like first period, it's just like they're flying at you. Like it's, you need to maybe sit back a bit. Let's just protect the house versus, let it cool off. It's just little stuff like that, being able to know when it's time to go and when it's time to sit back and stuff. And I think our coaches now that we have this year will, definitely be able to provide that, and be able to kind of, we like you mentioned before, we have a lot of younger players too that still have a lot to learn, and I think having coaches that can explain things properly and, pull the board up and show a guy something, and it's something that I think's invaluable still, even whenever you get to this level.
I agree, man. It's awesome. You guys are also this year going to be streaming your games. High Button Sports is coming in.
Yes.
Pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I am. I'm good friends with those guys, and I think they're just as excited. So every game will be all of our home games anyway will be live streamed on YouTube and be available for everybody to watch, and they'll have announcers and everything like that, and maybe have a couple guest announcers. The Corey Squared Gang, I'm sure, will be jumping on.
I'm sure we'll make an appearance.
I know you guys have been talking
Gladly.
to them. They're excited about that as well. They love your guys' enthusiasm for the league and everything. And that's kind of what they're about. Is they started doing it because they just love hockey, basically. So it's kind of similar.
We can relate.
Yes, you guys can relate. You're kind of like podcast bros. But they'll be doing that, and then we partnered up with Ducks Unlimited actually here in Amherst. So they'll be at all the games. They'll have a booth set up. We'll be giving away a bunch of Ducks Unlimited merch at all our games. They're also, I don't know if you've seen the commercials or whatever, but Ducks Unlimited made these like crazy duck vehicles. They're like 4x4 off-roading. Basically, like, they don't really make sense, like, but they're like in like an everyday sense, it's more of kind of like an off-road vehicle to get to the back roads to your duck blinds. But they're going to be bringing them out at intermissions, and then to pick up all the ducks after we do the duck toss. So we'll have numbered ducks that we'll throw out in one of the intermissions, and it'll be kind of interesting to see how that goes. So.
You guys are definitely putting on a very fan-oriented. I think Miramichi did it well last year, and you guys are going to be coming with that. Going to be some fun for the fans. You guys also have a game day announcer this year, which is something I've never heard of in the BSHL, but I love it.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, we do. I think that's the title we gave him. It's he's going to be kind of doing like the in between period kind of show. He'll be up in the crowd doing some kind of funny stuff, maybe putting on a costume, or we have a couple like little ideas that he's all in for. So he'll be making sure there's something to look at in between whistles and all that kind of fun stuff. Throwing away shirts. And,
awesome.
We kind of have partnered up with a couple of different groups that everybody will have to kind of wait and see. But we want to put on a show. We think it's like I said many times on here, I think it's more than just hockey. And, like you said, Miramichi does it awesome. Like, they have stuff going on all the time. They're kind of they definitely do it right, and the community's really behind it. So why not look at what they're doing and keep going? But
awesome, man. Can't wait to get there. 2 weeks from tomorrow when this comes out, or 1 week from tomorrow when this comes out.
A week from Friday, and it's quite challenging. Taking on defending champions. I'm sure you guys are up for the task.
Oh man, yeah, we have a tough start to this season. We're going to be tested earlier, first couple matches, but honestly, you look at every team. I don't know. Every team is putting a good product on the ice, so I think it'll
absolutely.
I think it'll, like anything, teams need to come together, and it'll be whoever basically shows up the most and comes together as a team and is kind of all locked in for one goal. That usually seems to be the team that wins anyway. So whether you got the most talent or not, it's lots of teams are making big signings. That doesn't mean that, and including us, it's like you can have the best players, but if we don't come together and as one team, then we'll be easy to beat. Like anybody
we talk a lot about chemistry, and Dalhousie last year in the regular season had, I think, 15 guys who had 14 or more games played, and they won the cup.
Yeah,
it's just gelling chemistry at this level. It's buy-in.
They had complete buy-in. Like they
100%.
and their players. You could tell like their players wanted to win for their player, like their buddies or whatever. It's noticeable. Like you can tell if you play teams, you're like, are these guys going to win? It's like you could tell Dalhousie had something cooking all year long, just the way they played.
Now it all begins again. So can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it. We'll be in Amherst a week from Friday for the home opener. And thanks Parker for coming on. Corey, do you have anything else you want to add?
Quack quack.
Quack quack.
There'll be some quack chants going. Don't worry about that. You're going to be hearing lots of quacking.
Some duck calls.
Yeah.
All right. I like it.
Duck calls, yeah. Duck calls will be going. Can you do a duck call?
No. Can you?
I'm not going to do it on air just because it's people might be driving to their cars listening to this. But
come on,
I'll show you next Friday for sure.
All right. If you score a goal, you'll do a duck call.
Well, yeah. Well, we were thinking. Some of the boys were thinking to do the what was the guy that played on Washington? He used to do like the eagle.
Yeah.
Kuznetsov.
Kuznetsov, yes. I think that might have to be the one, something like that. Or you could just shoot the duck, but I don't know if it might tear my ACL if I try to do that one.
I don't know. You are the Ducks though, so you don't want to shoot the Ducks.
It won't be me doing it though. I don't really score many goals, like unless you can celebrate for assists. But
that's fair. All right, man. Can't wait to be there.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.